go, Rob.
So Rob Johnson's going to pick Tennessee apart. Okay, we got the idea.
Well, look at boy, Rob Johnson's in a tough spot tonight. He hits the pillow, be a little nervous, huh?
All right. Take them apart. I expect it to be a good game, but I think Tennessee will wear them down.
If you're going to take a blow this weekend, do yourself a favor tomorrow afternoon about 4 o'clock, because I don't think the Lions will be very competitive against the Redskins.
Well, I tell you, it'll be a miracle, considering the way the Lions played the last month. They've been camouflaging it pretty good if they do that.
One thing, though, they've been hearing all this talk. You're 8-8, no shot. Watch him go in there. In the funny, wacky world of NFL football, watch him go in there and win the game, you know?
I think they'll score. I mean, the other problem is the other team will score a bunch more.
Good job, John Chin. Chris Carlin today. Outstanding. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 in the huddle coming up next. Mix Magic and Rich Houston. Adios, folks.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
All right, here's Bill from White Plains. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, I-Man. My heart is breaking. Breen's leaving.
Yeah.
I have a perfect replacement.
Oh, you do?
Me. I know all the right things to say.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I-Man, play another cut from that Dixie Chick CD. Or I could say, what an interesting story about your son Wyatt. And then there's another one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the best belt buckle I've ever seen.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
And here's what the president had to say about the experience of being with his wife in their new house.
It's exciting. We're seeing some things we haven't seen since we moved to the White House, and some things we haven't seen in 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like each other's genitals.
Hey, look at this.
In the morning on the fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good evening. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Joe Tollison.
With reports every 20 minutes. This is John Minko, WFAN 2020 Sports.
Your home for all NFL playoff games, including Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta on Sunday, January 30th, is The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
But I believe if Bill said Monday, I'm coming back, and the Patriot job opened up, and they try to bring Belichick there because this year he'd be the coach, I think the fact that Belichick is a coach in waiting prevents that from happening. Joan Chin and Kyle Casey. Joan, thank you very much. He leaves. Doug comes in. We'll be back in a few minutes. Rich Ackman's update. Stick with us.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN.
There's really no football team to root for here in New York. The Jets, now they suck. I hate them. Which is why, by the way, I pledged my allegiance to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, you boy.
At the beginning of the season.
That's right.
And how are they doing? Last time I read, they were 26 and 5, 11 in a row.
That's right.
Those two guys.
I can name two people on the team. Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant.
Kurt Rambis?
And Kurt Rambis, yeah.
James Worthy.
Gail Goodrich. Elgin Baylor.
How's Kareem doing?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
And now we have this Jets mess.
Yeah.
God almighty, what a... Well, you know, we'll probably never know the story of that. Not that anybody cares. I mean, it's a fat football coach on a lousy football team.
No rings.
Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for absolutely nothing.
Thanks for playing B.
Imus in the morning on the fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
All day, every day, keep your radio locked in to The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon at 12 noon. This is Rich Ackerman. You're home from Mike and the Mad Dog, weekdays from 1 until 6.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan, WFAN, New York.
Saturday afternoon, Chris Caruso. Nice to have you with us here today for our final segment as we get ready for the first round of the NFL playoffs. Nice to have you with us. The first game, of course, in a few minutes with Buffalo, Tennessee. We'll have all the games for you with Detroit, Washington, and, of course, the two games tomorrow with Miami and Seattle, the nightcap, which is preceded by the Minnesota-Dallas game. And if you're an NFL football fan, and we all are, this is really what you look forward to. These couple of weekends in the national teams, but it's still a playoff game, still something to get into. Good job out of Kyle Casey today, Joe and Chin, of course. You got football all afternoon, Knicks tonight, football again tomorrow as well. You got a fun weekend of football here on The Fan. Good show today, folks. Thank you very much. We'll see you on Monday with Mike. Mike tomorrow morning at 9. Enjoy your weekend of football. Adios.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
There's a U.S. land 68 to 65. With reports every 20 minutes, this is John Benko, WFAN 20 Sports.
Right after Imus in the morning, join me, Russ Salzberg, along with Steve Summers, the sweater and the schmoozer, right here on the Fan Sports Radio 66 WFAN New York.
Friends, this is Larry King. Means when you're covering a kick, and what happened is that lateral and then the play actually broke down the return coverage, which is what they hope that will happen, and then you throw quickly back across the field and they can't recover. And really it worked textbook. They went to the play and then a throw back and then he's wide open down the sideline. So that's exactly how it's supposed to work.
Sports Radio 66. The Fan. WFAN.
All right, here's Bill from White Plains. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, I-Man. My heart is breaking. Breen's leaving.
Yeah.
I have a perfect replacement.
Oh, you do?
Me. I know all the right things to say.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I-Man, play another cut from that Dixie Chick CD. Or I could say, what an interesting story about your son Wyatt. And then there's another one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the best belt buckle I've ever seen.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
And here's what the president had to say about the experience of being with his wife in their new house.
It's exciting. We're seeing some things we haven't seen since we moved to the White House, and some things we haven't seen 17 years.
Mm-hmm. Like each other's genitals.
Hey, look at this.
In the morning on the Fan. Sports Radio 66. WFAN.
An Infinity Broadcasting Station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon at 12 noon. This is Rich Ackerman. Yes.
This is the
Might have been when you were young and strong. American 15. American 15. Imus in the morning.
Yahoo! The holidays are finally over. So you got the...
I'm Lori McNichol for the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
Imus in the morning, 2020 Sports rolls on. Aikman throws back of the end zone, and it's intercepted by Robert Griffin. Turn out these lights
This party is over. The Cowboys turn it over for the fourth time.
Dallas doomed in the dome. Good morning, Mike Breen with sports. Howard David with the call. NFL playoffs. Cowboys out. Beaten badly by the Vikings 27-10 in Minneapolis. Quarterback Troy Aikman said, turnovers the key.
When you play in a game like this, when you play in playoff games to where the opponents are, pretty equal, those types of things are the things that are going to separate the game.
Opponents pretty equal. What game's he talking about? Wasn't yesterday, as the Vikings clearly the better team. Now they have decisions to make. The Cowboys, that is. Do they re-sign free agent Deion Sanders? Let's ask Deion. Was that your last game as a Cowboy?
I can't tell you if that was my last game in a Dallas Cowboy uniform or not. I really can't say that right now.
Well, that clears that up. We certainly hope so. And if not, we wish him all the luck in the world. Minnesota plays at St. Louis next Sunday. Miami Dolphins will play again. They'll face the Jaguars in Jacksonville next Saturday. They defeat the Seahawks in Seattle on yesterday. And that's sports. I'm Mike Breen. Hi, I'm Mr. Morning. This is WFAN in New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station. Well, where would Deion Sanders go? How much? Anywhere. What's he got left? Any team? A lot, or? I don't think a lot, no. He's talking about going to play baseball again. No, bro. Let him go. Okay. Get him out. Not happening. No, it's not. That team really sucks. Rebuild. I mean, they've got to start over, don't they? Absolutely. Sure. Ground up. How about Troy Aikman? What's he do? He'll still be there for a couple more years. Huh? Emmitt Smith wasn't even the best running back named Smith on the field yesterday. Oh, that other guy was. Right. The other guy. The other Smith. Robert Smith. Right. No, we don't care about him. There's Chuck. Good morning, Sean. Morning, man. Couple of... A wacky song parody from the Dixie Chicks Fly album. Not Goodbye Earl, but Goodbye Hill.
Hillary and me were what you'd call sweethearts back in our postgraduate days. Both of us obsessed with me becoming the president of the USA. After graduation, we got married, and I was governor of Arkansas. I was parking every single bimbo inside while she worked for Rose Law. Well, it wasn't very long before she found out, and I started getting abused. She'd throw tantrums and lamps and ashtrays, and I would end up bruised. Well, the years went by, I made it to the White House, but with her it was just like doing time. 'Cause there was no way we'd divorce with what we had on each other. We were like two partners in crime. So although we were wed, we got separate beds and pretended nothing was awry. But when I got some head from an intern co-ed, I found myself wishing inside that Hillary would die. Goodbye, Hill. Hey, pretty please. Take these downers for me, Hill. This water's deep. Why don't you lay down and sleep, Hill? Is it getting dark? Say hi to Vince in the park, Hill. But she stood by her man and she held my hand while I brought shame to my name. And cried and denied that I had ever lied and claimed I wasn't to blame. That it was payback time as Hillary whined about all the humble pie she did eat. And made me promise that I would get behind her in a run for a Senate seat. Now I'm thunderstruck 'cause there's a moving truck here to move her stuff up to Chappaqua. Can't believe my luck, I'm gonna run amok. I don't have to kill my wife after all, 'cause Hillary said goodbye. Goodbye, Hill. Don't forget to write and call
I'm David Orrick. I make the 8-pound Orrick XL hotel bag.
Great job. Great job. Loved you. Not bad call. And we'll see you tomorrow. Adios.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Did you hear, Fred, that Melissa Etheridge and Julie Cypher, they are lesbians, and the singer, Miss Etheridge, had 2 children, and they revealed that the father of them was David Crosby.
It's a test tube situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
They don't actually do it, right?
No, God. I mean, don't even conjure up that image of David Crosby and Melissa Etheridge.
Yeah.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Crosby, whose cocaine and alcohol addictions forced him to get a liver transplant, is described as having been clean and sober, and the lesbian couple was assured that 3-year-old Bailey and 1-year-old Beckett would be born without birth defects.
Better country. That junkie's choking his chicken into a test tube so some lesbian can have a family.
You can't make it up.
Thank you, Bernard. That puts a fine point on it.
Imus in the morning on the Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
An Infinity Broadcasting Station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good evening at 6 o'clock. This is Rich Ackerman. We should know something in the...
Okay, I know who's going to get the team.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Robert Wood Johnson will be awarded the New York Jets franchise this morning.
You're certain of this?
Positive.
I
guarantee it. I guarantee it.
You also said the day Bill Parcells had a press conference that he was going to come back to be the coach.
No, I didn't. Did I?
Yeah.
Idiot.
I was a little off on that one, but
come on, this one you're
last week.
But this is different.
Well, this one your information's better.
My information is solid on this one.
Where'd you get this information?
I can't reveal
concrete source.
Yeah, a bulletproof source. So, Robert Wood Johnson will be. Who looks a lot like, by the way, NBC's GE's Robert Wright.
Yeah, he does.
Almost a separated at birth deal.
Yeah, it is.
So, which may mean that Suzanne will be trying to sneak in games out there. I think I'm with him, and he will probably talk Bill Parcells into coming back and coaching.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
you ever think of hosting a sports show?
Did you ever think of doing a decent sports show? Yes.
Whoa.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports. Let's go to the audio tape.
Down to 7. Shaw Woods, they may not get a shot off. Shaw's got him, brings it out to Kobe. He's got it. His clock is down.
He hit it, he hit it, he hit it. I don't believe it.
15 in a row and counting. Good morning, Mike Breen with sports. The great Chick Hearn with a call on KLAC in Los Angeles, where the Lakers won again by 35, pounding the Denver Nuggets at the Staples Center. 30 points from the I-Man's man, Kobe.
Just wanted to win. I mean, we haven't been playing very good in the first half of ball game, so it was important for us to make a statement.
They did that. Shaq Fu, 1 assist shy of a triple-double. 31 points, 19 boards, 9 assists. This is the best team in the NBA by far right now.
Well,
but there are many months to go.
Yeah.
Well, many teams to face. Well, many obstacles to overcome. Many
hills to climb.
Good effort by the Charlotte Hornets last night. They only lost by 50 to Portland. No. To the Spurs. No. To Indiana. No. Milwaukee Bucks beat them by 50. Here's Charlotte Hornets coach Paul Silas.
The crowd, this is a difficult place to play. These fans know when to cheer, and they know when to be quiet.
Paul certainly with a handle on the situation there in Charlotte.
Wasn't that a cut we had yesterday about something else?
Yes, it was.
Kind of familiar, I-Man.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Unintentional, but it was.
Okay.
I might add that there are some severe technical problems out in the newsroom.
What goes on out there? Because you do one sportscast an hour, and we have one newscast an hour, and it's the biggest mess out there, and there are 4 people out there working on it.
What happens?
There's Jane and Craig and you, right? And there's somebody else?
Sometimes there is.
Yeah.
So we don't have that person today, so that's your reason.
Jane, we understand. She's a mental patient. And Craig is just incompetent. And Craig tries, but I mean, it's just... I mean, the number of times that we take these little tape cartridges into loop, and there's either nothing on them, or they're misidentified. I don't know how does that happen. I mean, I can see it happening once in a while. It happens all the time. For example, that's another example.
Yes, it is.
Deplorable.
I wish I had an answer.
Well, yes, but I mean, you have an hour to prepare this thing. An hour.
I know. Is there anything I can do to make it up?
Resign now. Get out. Yeah, I mean, God, I really don't understand it. It's just. Well, anyway, go ahead.
New Jersey Nets win again?
I don't know.
It's an hour.
I don't know.
They defeat the Magic in Orlando. But Coach Don Casey says you have to be concerned with more than just winning.
Winning is good. Covering the Nets. I'm Billy Taylor.
Now we're all screwed up.
That wasn't Don Casey?
No, this is a disaster. Not a good way to start the day.
No, this is not.
I got nothing that says Don Casey. Mike.
Get out. Just get out and you're suspended.
Can we start?
No, we can't. No, are you just screwing around or is that another actual legitimate error?
Well, now I'm screwing around.
Oh, okay. That's better.
It's different.
Pretty funny, huh? Way to go, Mikey. We're going to miss it.
It was a teenage wedding and the old folks wished him well. You could see that Pierre did truly love the mademoiselle. And now the young monsieur and madame have rung the chapel bell. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. Imus in the morning.
Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
You know, I don't know why this book is so fascinating. From Scott Muni, Scotto.
Every once in a while, the outrageously unpredictable world of rock and roll provides us with something that's so off the chart outlandish, it's almost too inconceivable even for itself. Which is quite a statement when you consider this is the same artistic pursuit that gave us such biologically borderline specimens as Marilyn Manson and Flea. But recently, even the staunchest believer in God was given reason to doubt his existence when Rolling Stone revealed that the father of Melissa Etheridge and Julie Cypher's children is none other than David Crosby. David Crosby, the man with the dubious distinction of being the least talented of the already contemptibly limited quartet, CSNY. The doughy, beady-eyed walrus, separated at birth, yet slightly less aesthetically pleasing to the eye than wavy gravy. Rock and roll's answer to Linda Tripp on his second liver and last leg. The man who inspires one to ask, how did somebody who did that much coke get that fat? In all fairness, the behemoth bridge troll maintains he's been clean and sober for 14 years. Sober, perhaps, but clean? I think that one's up for debate. What the hell were these two dumbbell dykes thinking? What made them decide this hairy lump was the perfect sire for their butch brood? There's got to be about a billion other choices they could have made over David Crosby. Norm Crosby would make a better dad. Dig up Bing Crosby. He'd be a better father. It's not that I'm against homosexual couples having families, but this thing borders on child abuse. Because one day these kids are going to grow up and have to deal with their genetic origin. I can only hope that Etheridge and Cypher are putting some money away, not for college, but for psychotherapy. Because as soon as these kids realize that not only are their two moms munchers, but this hairy toad's their biological father, they're going to need daily electroshock treatments and perpetual Prozac prescriptions. You know who I feel sorry for? The guy Julie Cypher dumped for Etheridge, Lou Diamond Phillips. Like the emasculation of being thrown over for a lesbian wasn't bad enough, this poor Chico's got to live with the knowledge that although his old lady wasn't interested in him giving her his La Bamba, she was more than willing to stick that fat schmoo Crosby's bodily fluids into her uterus, not once, but twice. And by the way, even though the two Sappho sisters maintain that no kitchen utensils were used in the conception, the image of that furry load loping his mule into a petri dish makes me want to get my own kitchen utensil, a Ginsu knife, and slit my throat. Coming up, some classic Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Teach your children well, because their parents' hell will slowly go by. But kids, don't you ever ask them why, because if they told you, you would cry, especially on Father's Day.
When your pubic hair's on fire, something's wrong. When you think you're the Messiah, something's wrong. You must take a plane for Venus. Something's wrong. When your girlfriend's got a penis, something's wrong.
The boss. You're going to use
Servers need consolidation. They will show you how.
I manage technology services. When Continental replaced 8 NT servers with one Sun Microsystems Enterprise 3500 server, my NT management problems were over. Continental Resources is a Sun value-added reseller with more server consolidation experience than Lawrence Welk's champagne bubbles. Visit conres.com or call
800 spin web. Call Continental right now.
800 spin web. Continental Resources. They've got your answer.
Good morning. Senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
Indeed, indeed. And thank you so much as always, Imus. In the morning. well, if you'll excuse me just a minute while I finish this little job I'm involved in here beneath the desk.
What are you doing?
Oh, well, Dono, if you must know, Katie Lang wants me to father her child.
No.
So I'm in the process of collecting the necessary biological material, as it were.
So you're on the radio choking your chicken.
Spanking the monkey, yes, indeed.
You're masturbating?
Well, I prefer more genial euphemisms, if you don't mind. Burping the pink worm. Yes, that is precisely what I'm doing, Dono. If David Crosby can help out Melissa Etheridge and Julie Cipher, then Dick Nixon can also answer that sort of call, too, no? Science and compassion, J.D. Science and compassion. No, really, I do. What do you take me for? Of course I'm not over here putting a smile on the weasel. I was, in fact, pulling your leg. I was kidding. Just to make a point about this union, I guess you'd have to call it, of Melissa and Julie and David. I mean, how, if you're going to do that, introduce children into an unconventional relationship, how do you decide that you want David Crosby as your DNA resource? You had to use him because the chimpanzee was drunk? I mean, listen to this decision process as recounted by Rolling Stone magazine. Okay, Ms. Etheridge says that David donated his sperm, and isn't that a pleasant picture? David Crosby with a Dixie cup. Anyway, David donated his sperm to impregnate Melissa's lover, Julie Cipher, at the suggestion of David's wife, Jan. Do you follow that?
Yeah.
And who is Julie Cipher, other than Melissa's lesbian lover? She's the actor Lou Diamond Phillips' ex-wife, who hooked up with Etheridge 5 years ago while she was still married to Lou. The whole damn thing is a squirmitation situation, Dono. And now Melissa and Julie have Bailey and Beckett, these two rugrats out of David Crosby, a man who blew out his liver, and God knows what else, behind cocaine and alcohol, to the point, in fact, that Julie and Melissa had to have his semen certified to make sure that the kids wouldn't come out with 7 eyes and shaking like a couple of crack babies manning a jackhammer. God almighty. What do we title this book? Bailey and Beckett have 2 mommies, 1 junkie, a turkey baster, and maybe a record deal? Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, pull your pud for me. Ouch! A most unpleasant look into the old Dick Scope today, J.D. Dick, Scope, and associated collection apparatus, all property of Dick Nixon, donor in waiting, and a former president of the United States.
My name is Gary Hager, and
hasn't exactly gotten off to a banner start for the cause of minorities. Every step forward, like the television networks agreeing to hire more of us, is met by 2 steps backward due to the loose lips of idiots like that fat James Brown-looking Donna Brazile and that left-handed loser John Rocker. Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig announced that Rocker was going to have to undergo psychological testing in light of the racist and homophobic comments the Atlanta Braves pitcher made in Sports Illustrated last month. Well, isn't it painfully apparent that any man who calls a fellow black teammate a fat monkey is a couple of relievers short of a bullpen? Not that it's much of a surprise. Anybody who plays for a team where the owners and fans alike join in that degrading ritual called the tomahawk chop ain't exactly what I'd call racially enlightened. But this fat retard has obviously been hit in the head by a line drive or something. So why has it taken Selig so long to do anything about it? And why be so sympathetic to the cracker-pecker wood anyway? He don't need to lay out on no psychiatrist's couch. He needs some psycho brother to lay him out and make him say, ouch. He need an Oriental woman to run his ass over with a Land Rover. One of them queers with AIDS he complained about should take his pink dinker and put a kink in his sphincter. But worse than Rocker, a greater problem exists when one of our own starts putting her fat ass in the way of racial progress. Back in October, when Donna Brazile was named Gore's national campaign manager,
She was described as loose, charismatic, chatty, and vibrant. Well, now we discover that it's the loose and chatty part that's gonna be trouble. Upon taking the job, she said the GOG campaign was gonna be energized from the bottom up. Well, that much is true, because apparently she's leading with her asshole, as she effectively referred to black Republicans such as Colin Powell and J.C. Watts as tokens, trotted out by the party for photo ops, while the girl got to play the race card. This ain't Pokemon, bitch. This is politics. And there's plenty of stuff to hammer the GOP about without having to bring color into the deal. How about all them log cabin Republicans? Or are you more concerned with losing them flannel shirt-wearing, breakfast sausage-eating lumberjacks than you are with alienating your own people? Sorry, that was not very enlightened of me. In my outrage, I resorted to John Rocker-like thinking. But, by the way, that boy couldn't do no worse running Gore's campaign than Florida from Good Times is. In fact, the vice president should consider moving his headquarters from Nashville to Atlanta, where he can portray himself as Rhett Butler, while Miss Brazil runs around the plantation like a cross between Mammy and Prissy, screaming, "I don't know nothing about birthing candidates." Frankly, my dear, I don't give a I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg, plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me. Imus in the morning.
Yahoo!
WFAN 2020 Sports.
It's the NFL on FAN as we bring you all the action of the playoffs, including Super Bowl 34 on Sunday, January 30th in Atlanta. So keep it locked in to Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
And at 3:20, this stuff wasn't a big part of
you
it.
talk about the games.
You know,
I was ready to talk about Nets Magic today.
Who
I got
cares?
Casey on, but
Who cares? You know, I don't care if the players polka dot. I could care less. You know, that's
Watch
what
the
I
games.
that's
It's
what I always
fun.
liked about sports. But you know, and I think it's more democratic and fairer than a lot of other walks of life. Do I think there's problems? Yeah, but I think there's less in sports than there are in a lot of other walks of life.
Susan, Knicks-Bulls, Jody Mack Post, good job out of Ray Martell and Colin. See you tomorrow. Adios.
Sports Radio 66,
All I have is one station on my radio.
What is that station, Oral?
Oh, The Fan. You know that. And if you guys replay this, I want to be paid for it.
Russ Salzberg and Steve Summers.
Yeah. And what's your guys' name?
Weekdays from 10 to 1.
Is it Rick and Sam?
No, you got it.
Oh, Russ and Steve.
Sweater and the schmoozer to you.
Sweater and schmoozer.
On The Fan.
Oral, do you know what schmoozing is all about?
I played with Lasorda for a long time.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York. The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York, an Infinity broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good evening. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Bob Wischusen. The Sports every 20 minutes. I'm Bob Wischusen. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Two-way sports talk, sports scores, great guests, and big games. It's all here every day on The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
6:23. Light snow likely changing over to rain. Highs in the lower 40s. The current Central Park temperature is 49 degrees, and that's what's happening. I'm Bob Wischusen with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station for the Imus in the Morning program tomorrow from 5:30 till 10 a.m. And one last check of the...
With the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
You're listening to the 50,000-watt clear channel voice of the Mets, Jets, Knicks, and Rangers. The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
Welcome to the New York Knicks pregame show, brought to you by the New Jersey Eye Center, representing the next generation in laser vision technology. Good evening, everybody. Spencer Rosscore, along with Marv Albert and John Andres, will be along later as the Knicks take on the Chicago Bulls. Second meeting of the season between these two teams. The Knicks won the first one in Chicago by 10.
Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
See, here's my concern. It's 12 minutes till the hour here in the Imus Morning program about this Lifetime Achievement Award from Radiant Records, and that is then all these Marconis I've won, 4 of those from the NAB. That's pretty much it, isn't it? I mean,
I think so.
I think at that point, then you should just stop, don't you?
You're Marconi'd out.
Yeah.
That's it. So you start having
the only person, I mean, I think Paul Harvey's won 4 Marconis, and I won 4.
Well, you might want to break the tie, right? Be the all-time Marconi winner. One more. That'd be the only reason.
You don't have any. I get nominated every year, but you don't have any control over that. Your peers have to vote for you, but many of the program directors and general managers in the country love the I-Man, as well they should.
But that's not the disturbing thing. The disturbing thing is this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, so, which is a clear indication
that, man, I tell you, when they start putting you up for stuff like that, I mean, it's just a real short hike to the windbreaker with the note on it saying,
that's a clear sign that it's just over. It's insulting. I mean, it's
dog track.
And it's an obvious implication, at least, that you certainly can infer from it that it's over.
Downhill.
It's like mid-hour back time.
Yes. Exactly. So
yeah.
Somebody's lit a cigar.
Yeah. That just is not good.
No, and then they put it out.
Imus in the morning, 2020 sports. You want scores? You want scores? You can't handle scores. Here's Warner Wolf.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning. Thank you, I-Man. This Imus in the Morning Sports Report is brought to you by Cosmo.com. Visit them on the web at KOZMO.com. 2 new members voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Longtime Red Sox and White Sox catcher Carlton Fisk.
Big mistake.
Fisk? Well, he caught more games than any other catcher, hit more home runs than any other catcher.
All right, good choice.
All right.
Excellent choice.
Question is, which hat will he wear when he gets the award? White Sox or Red Sox?
Well, do you know, strangely enough, I think he ought to wear a Red Sox, but he played for the White Sox longer.
Exactly.
I'd probably wear a Nike hat or something.
That's right.
No.
13 with the White Sox, 11 with the Red Sox. But, of course, I think most people, the baseball fans, that one memory stands out. The home run in 1975, waving at fair.
Which hat will he wear?
My guess? I think he'll wear the... Well, I don't start to say the Red Sox, but, you know, he was upset with them when he left.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you got to wear the Red Sox.
Yeah.
You got to wear the Red Sox.
Yeah. I don't know.
Why don't you take some calls on it?
Yeah. Reds first baseman Tony Perez finally voted in on the 9th try.
Yeah.
Jets were sold yesterday to Robert Johnson, the heir to Johnson & Johnson, $635 million. He won't miss that money.
No.
All right? Just sell more baby powder.
That's all.
23 Redskins.
He had nothing to do with even making it, by the way. It's just a genetic thing.
Inherited money.
Right place, right time. I mean, he didn't,
it's a lottery.
That's exactly what happened.
That's it.
So.
Another toy for him.
Yeah.
Right. 23 Redskins and 15 Lions fined $154,000 for that brawl last Saturday. Trey Johnson, a Redskins offensive guard, fined $50,000 and suspended 1 game. Remember, he hit the referee in the back of the head. But the interesting thing...
hey, what happened to the guy from Cleveland who pushed the referee down? Remember that?
Oh.
When the guy shoved the referee?
They're still withholding that penalty. Well, you remember he was penalized the final game. But as far as another penalty goes, in my opinion, that'll be it because of what happened to his eye.
Oh, I see.
That's what I think.
What happened to his eye? The referee hit him with the flag. The flag has a little weight in it, right?
BB shot. Yeah.
He should have been arrested.
He damaged his eye. It could be permanent eye damage. He's not going to be penalized anymore.
Oh, okay.
No. But here's the question with Trey Johnson. How come they don't suspend him for the playoff game Sunday or Saturday? Instead of the game, he's suspended next year 1 game.
We can't suspend him for the playoff game.
Well, the incident happened in the playoff
Don't cause
game.
trouble here. We'll get Patrick McEnroe in here now.
All right. Yes. Say so. Say so long.
You've seen enough, Patrick. Get in here.
He left.
Warner continues.
Say so long to Cowboy coach Chan Gailey.
So long.
Fired by the Cowboys after 2 years going 10-6 and 8-8, but losing in the first round of the playoffs. Gailey thus becomes the first Cowboy coach in history not to win a Super Bowl.
Wow.
Here's Gailey.
You know, what were the problems? Was it discipline problems? Was it injuries? Was it player problems? Was it coaching problems?
No, the problem was Troy Aikman didn't like your offensive plan.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Simple as that.
Right.
That's it.
You can't sound like an old Jonathan Winters routine either. That's true. And you think any players are going to have anything really real?
No, come on. They're not standing up for him, no.
Yeah, they're in a field and a big thing came down and on fire. No, that is not going to work. So.
Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down. Right off of your feet. come with me. Put you in my house. Boom, 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 boom.
Imus in the morning.
Here's a message for all you people on the go. Let's say you're somewhere between Tuscaloosa, Alabama, in the middle of nowhere, and suddenly you want to access your email. You're out of luck, right? Not when you have the BlackBerry wireless handheld device and internet service from RCN. Together, they give you access to your email 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from virtually anywhere in the United States. And best of all, you need only one email address for both your PC and BlackBerry. One address that you can access wherever you go. And with BlackBerry, not only can you access your account, you can send, forward, and reply to your email messages too. So get the BlackBerry wireless handheld for one low monthly price, which includes unlimited RCN internet access. Then whether you find yourself in Walla Walla, Washington, or if you're simply stuck in traffic, you'll be glad you have BlackBerry in your pocket. Just call 1-800-RING-RCN to sign up. 1-800-RING-RCN. Call today. This offer won't last forever. 1-800-RING-RCN.
Hey, baseball fans, tickets for the Mets 2000 season go on sale Saturday, January 22nd at 9 a.m. Plan now to be a part of the action as the Mets take on the Yankees.
Mr. Weenie.
And we look today to the inevitable sweep of change, the one true constant in our journey through our days. Indeed, change will visit us all, minor, momentous, to be embraced or assailed, change invited or unbidden. And so it is, even with such a bedrock institution as the Imus in the Morning radio program, as we say goodbye, good riddance, and a heartfelt get the out to Mike Breen, the much-beloved Imus sportscaster who veiled his homosexuality for all those years to rise to extraordinary heights of the sports broadcast profession. Now he is gone, or soon to be. A page turns, and the Imus recruiting arm searches for the individual to replace him. It didn't take long. Already, a man most likely has appeared to serve the Imus Sports Bureau in concert with the legendary Warner Wolf. A younger man, a man whose own sexual underpinning is often a matter of open conjecture. A man who seems as though he'd have the capacity to continue the Breen style of, at times, tactless, injudicious, bludgeon humor. A man whose eyes seem to say to the casual observer, I am a seething mass of insecurity capable of the most bizarre and profane acts. That man, Patrick McEnroe, the younger, less accomplished brother of tennis eminence, John McEnroe. Now we take his measure here to judge whether, in fact, Patrick's up to the job. Early returns are encouraging. The shoes he fills, after all, aren't that large. He comes from genetic stock that produced Brother John, a certifiable whack job. And his pinched, furtive, nearly rodent-like features, his barely cloaked resentment of his older and vastly more successful sibling, seem to assure that Patrick, too, is but a short walk from the city limits of lunacy. In other words, a potential nutcake and near-perfect Imus fit, in the estimation of this old, bold monitor of the unhinged. Yes, the Imus program's unique and indefensible ethos is well known. Indeed, was it not Imus himself to whom the producers of PBS, the American President, turned to fill the role of President Andrew Johnson? The series, profiling all 41 American chief executives with voice representations by such distinguished Americans as John Glenn, Norman Schwarzkopf, and, yes, Walter Cronkite, could find no one willing to lend their voice to the portrayal of our 17th president, because Andrew Johnson was, by even generous assessment, an impudent, intolerant, monomaniacal, irrational drunk. It is startling, then, that it required the producers as long as it did for the light bulb to go off. Impudent, intolerant, monomaniacal drunk? Imus. We're told he played the role brilliantly. My only observation, of course he did. He was typecast. A concluding note as we look back at Andrew Johnson and the Imus portrayal. Is our story incomplete? Perhaps.
In his post-presidency, Johnson served a brief session as a senator from Tennessee, and soon afterward died of a stroke. Don't take out any magazine subscriptions to Pat McEnroe. Perhaps the radio and records people giving Imus a Lifetime Achievement Award know something after all.
Stefan Dweck and Monteria Ivy, they have written a new book called Baby, All Those Curves and Me with No Brakes. Snaps are like...
Insult humor, you know, African-American art of insult humor, you know.
Give me an example.
See, I was going to talk about your girl, but instead, let me tell you about Bernard's girl.
Tell me about Bernard's girl. His mother's so nasty, she bathes with tartar-controlled soap.
Your mother likes one bald head of mine.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, well, Bernard, your teeth are...
I'm John Cardinal O'Connor. Good morning, Cardinal O'Connor.
Good morning, Card Blast.
Let's get this time, Mr. Barnes.
Yeah.
What do you get when you give a janitor a typewriter?
I don't know.
Book by Monteria Ivy and Stefan Dweck. I tell you, that's just right there. Oh, that's sick.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN 800 MATTRBS.
And it circumcised my thing of love. It's stinky and it's pygmy sized a bitty wee day. My teeny little thing of love. My thing of love. It's small. The curves to the right. It's thin, but not wide. The thick as a 1/4 inches high. That's what I'm packing. My teeny little thing of love. I say go baby and act like I'm so cocksure, but it's just crazy. I got a cocktail wiener hung like a cigarette. I try to be cool, relax, and get chicks to lay on their backs, but when I input my third leg ain't even half a foot. That's what I'm packing. A teeny little thing of love. I try to be cool, relax, and get chicks to lay on their backs, but I know what they like. So I wear a strap on like a diesel dog, that I'm ready with my teeny little thing of love. My thing of love. It's so short that it makes me sick. My thing of love. Good Lord, I got a needle dick like spaghetti. My teeny little thing of love. A teeny little thing of love. A teeny little thing of love. Too short. A teeny little thing of love. Real small. A teeny little thing of love. So deep. Teeny little thing of love. That's right. A teeny little thing of love. So deep. Teeny little thing of love.
25 till the hour here in the Emerson Morning Program. And now from our very fine affiliate in Atlanta, Georgia, 907 The Buzz, Sports Talk
1490.
1490 The Zone.
Right.
Here is Andrew Salsa Saltzman. Good morning, Salsa.
It's Sports Talk 790, The Zone, 790.
Sports Talk.
Let me jot that down, too.
790, The Zone, your fine affiliate
790.
down here in the lovely city of Atlanta.
The Zone.
Yes, The Zone.
All right.
We got to. The problem is just escalating down here. Mr. Steak Shapiro, a monster has been created that you have helped create.
Right.
I have no problem in saying. Last night he had a love fest with Perry Peltz on CNN Newsstand. This John Rocker thing has, while it's created a lot of controversy, has created a monster. In Steak Shapiro, thank God he has a convertible because his head would not fit in a hardtop right now.
So he got a shot on CNN, and he's
got a shot on CNN. He's doing MSNBC, and the latest that he's just fluttering around the office with is that Imus wants me to replace Breen. So it's a problem. Take him off my hands,
Wrong.
please.
Wrong.
Totally wrong.
Well, that's what's going on around the office.
We don't want him to replace anybody.
No.
I mean, he's studying up on his New York teams. He's talking to the people at the Jets and just trying to get the inside skinny on Parcells and Belichick. And, I mean, this guy's all but packed his bag.
We don't care.
No. We don't want him.
He's not replacing anybody.
Stay there. Well, I mean, you know, he's doing CNN. He's got a personal stylist now. He's got his own personal stylist and makeup artist.
What did he say last night about Rocker on CNN?
Oh, he made some very eloquent points, but you could tell, you know, since I know him as well as I do, I know what the idea was. It was, I hope the I-Man's watching. I hope the I-Man's getting a tape of this. Look at me, I'm a national star. I mean, it's so contrived. It's so completely, you know, for one purpose only, to inflate his own ego. That's what it's about right now.
What is this call about from you?
This call is to tell you that we have a problem down here, and I'm seeking your counsel.
You know what the problem we have? The problem we have is he gave you our phone number.
Ooh, that is a problem.
That is a big problem. Don't ever call his number again. Salsa, Andrew Saltzman, who is Steak Shapiro's partner, by the way. These two morons own the station there we're on in Atlanta.
Brother,
Sports Talk 1990.
Salsa. Lose the number.
Yeah, God almighty, what a lame-o.
Poor Steak having to put up with that.
Anybody know what Steak said last night? So,
No. We'll effort it.
Wonder if you rolled over on him. You have any sound on that from MSNBC, do we? You do? Pop it up, Lou, and let's listen to it.
Sure.
Roll it, you guys.
Rocker, this guy has been through it. Figure out if he's going to be suspended or not, because to think about a guy who, in 5 minutes driving down the highway, driving down Georgia 400 with a writer from Sports Illustrated, threw out some very ignorant comments, has now become one of the biggest national stories, biggest stories in our country. It's really amazing. And I think fans here are getting very tired of having to debate this, because it has been going on for 3 weeks, as you said, nonstop.
But, Steak, it's pretty hard to defend what he said. He pretty much put down every single person known to mankind in the, you know, in the time of about 2 minutes. How do you defend that?
No, I mean, you don't defend it. And again, you know, it certainly has his First Amendment rights. And people talk about the Braves are trying to say take away his First Amendment rights or baseball. And nobody's saying that. You know, you reap what you sow. He made the comments, and now he has to deal with the repercussions. I don't think in his wildest dream he'd imagine the repercussions would be this severe in terms of public perception. But you know, John Rocker, I don't know if he's a racist. I don't know if he's a bigot. I've been very critical of him over the last few weeks. I think he's guilty of being extremely ignorant for making comments. As like he said, he really is a guy.
Shut up. Almighty, what a moron. Shut up. Blah, 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 blah. You don't know if he's a racist? Well, let's, you know.
Read the article.
Read the article. I mean, you make serious comments like that. I mean, come on.
Gum flap.
You didn't call somebody what did he call somebody, a fat monkey? Or
fat monkey?
No.
How can you defend that?
No. You know?
Welfare mothers with 4 kids on a 7 train next to a guy with green hair.
See if his name's on the list of people who contributed money to Father Tom's AIDS hospice.
There you go.
If that might absolve him, you know, or at least...
at least help.
Steak, what a weasel.
Blah. Gee, man,
it could become one of the biggest stories. It's not a big story. It's a minor story.
Minor story.
Huh, one of the biggest... What? Hello? One of the biggest stories in the nation is... Well...
We now have Steak Shapiro on the line.
Yeah, man.
What a moron.
Let's get some input from Steak.
Well, Steak, don't you think that...
In your experience as Steak...
Your experience, Steak.
I think you go with his real name, Stevie Boy, instead of Steak.
Yeah, right.
Steak. Trying to talk serious.
The anchor's saying, hey, Steak.
Hey, Steak. Well, tell me, Mr. Steak.
She did say steak, didn't she?
Yeah, of course.
Unbelievable.
We declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
At Walter Reed Army
Army Medical Center, President Clinton's physical examination is continuing at this hour. Word from White House press spokesman Joe Lockhart that doctors attending Mr. Clinton are continuing to experience difficulty in trying to carry out an examination of the president's abnormally modest penis. Let's switch now to Walter Reed and pick up the live feed from the examination room.
It's right there. We're certain it is, Mr. President. We're just having trouble locating it. May I have magnification 4, please? Hold still, Mr. President.
Can you see it yet?
Not yet, Mr. President. We're still looking. Go to magnification 6, please.
Well, how about now?
I'm sorry, Mr. President. May I have magnification 8?
Oh, you gotta see it now.
Wait a minute. Hold it. I think I've got something. Yes, we have acquired the presidential penis. I repeat, we appear to have an image of the president's penis at magnification 8.
Thank God.
Good grief, Mr. President. No disrespect, but what did Monica Lewinsky do with this thing? Give you a BJ or pick her teeth?
Well, as a matter of fact, both.
Meantime, in New York City, at the famed Ed Sullivan Theater, where paramedics have worked through the night trying to remove David Letterman's lips from Hillary Rodham Clinton's ass. Officials have just transmitted an urgent request for additional rescue apparatus to be brought to the scene. IIW microphones are there in the phalanx of reporters covering this breaking story.
Roger, headquarters. Look, we're gonna have the jaws of life over here. We can't budge Letterman's lips. The seal's just too tight.
10-4. Any trouble locating the point of contact?
With that ass, and after that interview, no problem at all, headquarters. This isn't exactly like trying to find the president's, you know.
All right, the Jaws of Life unit's on its way. Code 3.
Wait a minute, headquarters. I think it's too late. It appears Mr. Letterman's entire head has just disappeared into Mrs. Clinton's, into her butt.
Are you able to establish voice contact with Dave?
I'll see, sir. Dave, can you hear me in there? He's in there all right, headquarters. It's going to be a tough job. That's a big ass.
Briefly, these items from the IIW business desk. Still more uncertainty about the America Online Time Warner merger as stocks of both companies continue their sharp declines. And analysts say that if prices fall further, the merger could be tough to close. One stark reflection of investor nervousness appraised at some $160 billion on Monday. The deal's estimated value as of 1 hour ago was $36.12.
I took one look and I was fractured. I tried to walk, but I was lame. I tried to talk, but I just stuttered. Why, what's your name?
What's your name?
What's your name?
What's your name?
Imus in the morning.
Yahoo!
I'm angry. Well, here's what you should do.
It's purple.
Yeah. You should address the issue.
Yeah.
Of this, maybe a hair replacement thing or something.
No, I'm 50 years old. You're supposed to go bald when you're 50 years old.
Charles and I haven't. No.
Well, obviously, the testosterone in your bodies are not as activated as mine.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, Abud, you got some good testosterones.
There's Chuck with the...
I'm going to get you right after this point.
Here's a very ugly moment with Bo Dietl here this morning.
Not good.
Yeah, not good at all.
Not good, I-Man.
Yeah, anyway, here's Chuck with the news. Good morning, Chuck.
Morning, I-Man. In the headline stories locally, Mayor Giuliani delivered his 7th and perhaps last State of the City speech, 99-minute talk at City Hall, touting his accomplishments at expanding the economy here while cutting crime and welfare rates.
Yeah.
Giuliani is, crime and welfare rates it should be. Giuliani is expected to run for New York's Senate seat against Hillary Clinton.
What did you say?
Prime instead of crime.
Huh? Right.
His most provocative points were aimed at the city's troubled Board of Ed. Giuliani startling his audience by promising to sell the Board of Education Brooklyn headquarters to get the board to downside its bureaucracy by providing them with a smaller building. Right. The spokesman for the Board of Ed did not return a call for comment.
You know whose birthday it is today?
Who?
Andy Rooney.
Is it really?
Wow.
No, I was
How
unaware
did we
of that.
forget that all morning?
I don't know. Well, happy birthday, Mr. Rooney.
And Nina Totenberg.
Oh.
Our old friend from PBS.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, that's fine.
Excuse me.
Faye Dunaway. Remember Marjo Gordner, the evangelist?
Sure I do.
His birthday. So, number of people.
What?
Julian Bond, remember him?
Yes, I do. Of course I do.
His birthday?
Yeah.
So Julian Bond, Marjo.
How old's Marjo?
Marjo is 55.
Huh.
Andy Rooney is 81.
Yeah.
Nina Totenberg is 56.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
All right. No, I did not know that.
Well, don't you hate when Imus reads birthday greetings? I do.
Well, it got really ugly there with Bo, didn't it?
Yeah. Did you see how
very
did you
scary.
see him get purple? Practically.
Yeah, I mean, he was just beside himself.
Yeah.
Which means he could do it at any moment to other people, like, say, us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you just...
Veins all standing out in his throat. And
Hi, Mr. Deedle. How you doing today, Mr. Deedle?
man,
not good.
An angeration situation.
Yeah, I mean...
How'd you like to be in his custody when he was
Oh,
in
my Lord. Please.
I mean, this would not have been
Try
good.
spitting in his face.
Oh, yeah. That'll work. I don't think so.
Not a good deal.
Grief.
Jesus, God almighty, what a
My
nightmare. All right, 3 minutes after the hour.
Yahoo! The holidays.
Both of these people are.
I was strutting my stuff, baby. Oh, yeah.
Who is Don Hannity?
Sean.
Oh, whatever.
He's a big fan of yours. Why don't you just give him 2 seconds of respect?
Yeah, well, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's a nice guy and all that. But
hanging up in my face like I'm a 2-bit.
Is he the guy who works with the Ghoul?
Hannity and Holmes. This is the show.
Please.
Alan Combs.
Yeah.
He talked about you a lot last night.
I'm sure they did.
Talked about you a bunch.
Yeah.
You were in the paper down here in Atlanta this week also. About that presidential thing you're doing. You're all, I mean, you know, a lot of pub. Anyway, forget it. I shouldn't even called.
Who's sucking up now?
Yeah, come,
brother. No
You
kidding.
are pathetic.
How's the duck impression coming? Honest to God.
Jesus.
That's a talented group you got there. A little band of cronies. Quite a combination.
Here's what State calls me about. This is unbelievable.
All right.
He says, why was I so rude to Salsa? Because it's creating a problem in their relationship. You see, little Stevie Shapiro and Andrew Saltzman, they own a station together in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And what was it, a bar mitzvah present?
and Andrew Saltzman is the son of the legendary radio pioneer, Genius.
Yes.
Well, Genius may be a little strong.
Not much.
But, well, it's a stretch. But Herb Saltzman. So we all, anybody who's been around a while, Herb's been around forever. And so Herb, unfortunately, had Andrew. And what are you going to do?
Well, that's not fair.
So he's got this fat schlub son.
Yeah.
And he can't get a job anywhere.
So you buy him a radio station.
Buys him a radio station with Steak.
Get him out of town.
And
that's not how it was, guys.
And then Steak calls up and says, why am I rude to Saltzman? Why did I hang up on Salsa on the air? And because it makes it difficult. It makes their relationship difficult. And I pointed out to Steak that Salsa sucked. That's why I hung up.
That's not fair.
Salsa is trying to ride Steak's coattails to some sort of celebrity. It's not going to happen.
It was awful.
Charles, come on now. Don't do that.
I've got to be honest.
Charles.
Steak is happening. Steak is amusing. Salsa's not.
That's as funny as a hemorrhoid.
I called you about the brain situation. I didn't want to go on that show.
Salsa is like having stomach cramps.
Oh, God, that's not right.
No.
You met Salsa. You spent time with him. The man was in the limousine. He met you right as you got off the plane. He was practically.
Well, it's like a bellhop.
Yeah, that's what he's suited for.
Absolutely.
Suck up to the eye, man. Carry his bag.
Yeah, that's all.
And don't call the radio station.
Exactly. Don't call. Try to be on the air like Steak. Steak is happening. You're not.
And you humiliate yourself.
Steak is happening. He's not happening.
You just create.
By the way, has Salsa been on CNN? Has Salsa been on MSNBC? Has Salsa been on Fox? No. The answer is no. The answer is no.
Yes or no?
Yes or no? Has he? Yes or no? Has he? Yes or no?
No.
No.
There you go.
I rest my case.
Who did they go to?
Who did they go to? They went to our guy's Steak.
Right.
You know what? You're right. Screw him.
A redneck nerd in a bowling shirt was a guzzling Lone Star beer, talking religion and politics for all the world to hear. They ought to send you back to Russia, boy, or New York City one. You just want to doodle a Christian girl and you kill God's only son. Imus in the morning.
All right, time to talk about retirement. No, not buying a home or a timeshare and Key Biscayne. I'm talking about the importance of saving money now for life after work. How about E-Trade? They make it simple for you. With an E-Trade IRA, you have access to over 5,000 mutual funds, stocks, bonds, right from the comfort of your PC, baby. At E-Trade, you will find IRAs with no minimum deposit and no IRA setup or maintenance fees, so more of your money works for you. Plus, they offer loads of free research and information to help you make the right IRA choices. It's easy to get started. Only takes about 3 minutes to apply. You just give E-Trade a call at 1-800-E-TRADE-1 or log on IRAs.etrade.com. Also help you transfer an existing IRA to E-Trade. E-Trade member NASD, SIPC.
Imus.
All right, are you trying to choose a surgeon for your laser vision correction? Here are important reasons.
Bang my work, but I don't mind the money at all. I see lots of sad faces and lots of bad cases of folks with their backs to the wall. And I need 4 walls around me to hold my life and keep me from going astray. And I need a honky-tonk angel to hold me tight, to keep me from slipping away. Imus in the morning.
Monday on MS. If you were looking for a world-class sportscaster, you lost. Here's Warner Wolf.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning. Thank you, I-Man. The Imus in the Morning Sports Report is brought to you by Cosmo.com. Visit them on the web at KOZMO.com.
You know, I asked, when McEnroe was here yesterday, I asked him.
Yeah.
He read that same billboard.
Yeah.
I said, do you know what they do? He knew what they did. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
I think that is unbelievable.
I mean, I had no idea. I still don't. But
What do they do?
And I don't know. I think I think you can call them. I punch them up on the. I think you can order anything from them.
And they can get it to you. And
I think they'll deliver it. I think, like, if you need a prescription, you run out of Nicorette gum, you need a bottle of vodka, whatever it is, I think you can call them and they'll go get it for you. I think.
Within a couple hours.
Within an hour or so.
But I'm not sure of that, by the way. It's pretty good, though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But you don't seem like you're that enthusiastic about McEnroe's performance.
No, I am. No, he's good. He was good when he called him. He's alive.
Yeah.
Seems he's a good sense of humor, rolls with it.
See, he's like you. He's got energy.
Yeah. That's it.
He's got a sense of humor like you do.
All right.
He seems like he's only going to get better, by the way.
He was great.
He's only going to get better.
Well, that was his first shot.
First time on the Dogs.
Yeah. And he was
So
terrific.
I think between the two of you, we thought we'd have to look forever to find somebody, but we don't.
We think we got it nailed.
We got the team. Done deal.
Yeah, it is a done deal.
In the house.
You and him. So anyway, how about Bo Dietl?
Bo Dietl.
Man, that was ugly.
Close him down.
Here's the thing. He was legitimately angry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you don't turn that color and not be
No,
angry.
man, it was, he didn't even match his suit.
Joseph Aboud is here with Warner. Well, here's the thing, Aboud. It's partly your fault. Here's a go. Well, look at the way. I mean, your big deal is fabrics, right?
Yes.
And textures and.
Right, absolutely.
Well, how about weave something for his head?
and you're Bo's buddy.
Yeah, and you're his friend.
We could do a little
Come on.
tweed hairpiece or something.
Absolutely.
Why you screwing him?
A nice little houndstooth
Right,
or
or
something.
match his
You're
suits.
absolutely right.
We could actually coordinate it.
You could
That's right.
coordinate
That's
it.
right.
You sure could.
Make 2 of them.
One for Warner.
Well, now, one of the things that MSNBC does, I realize it doesn't affect y'all on the radio, and it shouldn't, but is that they have a camera behind where Warner is sitting and where most of the guests sit. And and the camera is just there. They're remote-controlled cameras. And it focuses so that if they want to take a shot of me and of me talking to you,
right,
then they by just in the nature of the shot, they get the back of who's ever head is sitting there.
Yeah.
So, but they do kind of go.
And he sees it right on the monitor every time.
And then he's looking at the monitor, and then I brought it to his attention.
Which was not a good idea.
No,
that was a really bad idea.
That was unfortunate. So, but here's my feeling about having a bald spot. I mean, I think you got to get over it.
Yeah, go with it.
I mean, what do you care? I mean,
nobody cares.
I remember Dr. What was that woman's name? Used to be here. Dr.
Georgia Whitkin.
Dr. Whitkin is a psychologist of some kind, psychiatrist. She told us one time that women do not care about whether men have hair or not. That women care more about a man's voice and his eyes and whether he's a dirtbag or not.
That's right.
Than whether he has any hair. So
his wallet. Well, Bo's in trouble on all counts then.
Well, so But Bo, I mean, he's got to.
Hey, you're Bo Dietl. What's the insecurity about?
That's another thing.
You're Bo Dietl.
Yeah, but yeah,
you're flying on private jets.
He's a good-looking guy. He's a multi-millionaire. He's very successful. He has a great personality. It wasn't good getting mad like that.
Everybody loves him.
That's too much.
You can't get mad like that.
It's too sensitive.
Doesn't look good, does it?
No, has an Achilles head.
Yes, he does. He has well, Charles nailed it. He has beachfront property on his head.
That's all.
But I mean, it doesn't make him a bad guy. It doesn't make him unattractive at all.
And he's a great guy. He's got a big heart. He's a sweet guy.
In fact, I don't even think it's irrelevant. Like Pat O'Brien. Pat O'Brien's got the same thing. Who cares?
Yeah. No, you don't even see it. I mean, you see the total person.
I think Bo might have felt that the camera was taking advantage and zeroing in on that spot.
Right. Oh, they weren't?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. They were dissing him.
Well,
he looked at it as a diss, and that's bad. I mean, you just sort of...
You don't want to diss Bo.
No, it's not a good idea.
No.
Because the guy can flip. I mean, the guy can snap. He did snap.
Yeah. I thought there was going to be a shootout here, Warner.
I mean, the guy did snap. I mean, I'm just happy I'm on him.
Warner was diving for cover.
I was getting ready to get out of the console here.
Oh, man, it was just not good.
I saw that gun. Maybe we might have had a shootout here.
Well, it's just not good.
Right.
Dude, I love Bo to death, but I don't see a guy get that angry.
No,
It's just crazy.
lead flying.
Yeah.
Man, I felt sorry. Poor old Pat.
He didn't. I mean,
The guy has no idea what's going on. He's been the executive producer of the program for about 20 minutes. He doesn't know what's going on.
He just resigned.
But they still focusing on his head, you know.
Yeah. Don't shoot my head.
Anyway.
Pat's like the guy who accidentally ran over John Gotti's son. He didn't mean it, but it's too bad. You got to pay for it. It's got in the way.
Well, I think if you run over a kid, I think you got to be careful, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just think.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's...
They never saw that guy again.
I know that, but it's awful, horrible. I mean, if somebody ran over Wyatt, God forbid, but it would be the same outcome.
Way to bring the show to a screeching halt, Bernie.
Yes, by the way.
Good job, Bernie. By you on the fan. Good job, Bernie.
Way to go, Bernie. God. Any more analogies you can draw here?
We don't want to revisit that.
Here's Warner Wolf.
That's shooting.
This sports report was brought to you. If you had MSNBC, you were a cameraman.
Yeah, you lost. Oh, man.
All right.
No decision until Monday, the earliest, on whether or not Jets Bill Belichick has a legal right to get out of his 3-year deal early with the Jets.
Yeah.
But Belichick's attorney says Belichick should be free because the Jets have made it clear they don't want him anymore.
Get out.
Well, of course not. The guy said he was leaving and didn't want to be there.
Hello.
Yeah, of course they don't want him anymore.
What a defense for the lawyer.
Yeah, where's Joe Heller when we need him?
Man.
What are you nuts?
Wow.
Hey, by the way, the best novel Joe Heller ever wrote, in my estimation, was Something Happened.
Mm-hmm.
And David Remnick, in the issue of the New Yorker that paid tribute to Joe Heller, acknowledged that and pointed out that, well, Catch-22 was what Joe Heller was most known for. That Something Happened. Did you ever read that?
No.
Brilliant book. A brilliant book. So, well, and I have in my library an autographed copy of Something Happened that Joe autographed originally back in 1974, I believe.
Check it out.
Joseph Heller, who passed away here, unfortunately. Been the past year, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Warner, go ahead.
That's all right. Meanwhile, the word is that Robert Johnson has made Bill Parcells an offer which would make him the highest paid coach in NFL history.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because only 11 days ago, I asked Parcells if there was a chance he might come back down the road.
I can't say what's going to happen. I really don't know, Warner. It's a fair question. But I'm not coaching any more games.
Not so fast, big man.
Yeah, not so fast. Fatso.
Tuna.
Yeah. College basketball last night. In overtime, Syracuse beat South Carolina 77-74. Now, here's Syracuse longtime coach Jim Boeheim, who said for the first time in his career, he misread the score and thought he had lost in regulation.
The game is not over until it's over.
Very good. That slogan might make it.
Yeah, good. He's not one of my favorite college coaches either. No, I think he's a creep. So
Jim Boeheim.
Yeah.
Very successful coach.
I understand that. Like Bobby Knight's a creep, so. Ugh.
Yeah, where's Sprewell when you need him?
Exactly. Why isn't Sprewell choking Bobby Knight or Jim Boeheim? Good point.
What's the dealio?
I'm sorry, Warner. Go ahead.
Word from Washington is Michael Jordan will take over the basketball operation for the Wiz, and he will also get a percentage of the club, which means Jordan, sitting behind the desk, will be the best player the Wiz has.
And, of course, it was Jordan during the strike, as Warner pointed out earlier this morning, who was criticizing Abe, what's his name?
Poland.
Abe Poland for not paying the players of the Wizards.
There you go.
We'll see what happens now when MJ has to pay him.
Yeah. There's your one.
When Juwan Howard wants $84 million deal.
Yeah, take
$84 million deal.
Here's your
What you going to do?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Hey, Rod Strickland. Hey.
I do like the idea, though, that more blacks are owning these team stuff, and I think it's worth noting that regardless of what you think of Magic Johnson, the guy made all this money and put it back into his community.
Yeah.
And built all these movie theaters and does all these other things. And I was thinking, not to patronize black people or anything or anything else, but I do think it's worth noting that I think it's a commendable thing to do, and more of them should do it. And 70% of these people playing basketball are black, then blacks ought to be coaching, blacks ought to be owning the teams, too. So
I smell what you're cooking.
So good for Michael Jordan. So I'm not a huge Michael Jordan fan, but I do like the guy. So anyway, go ahead.
NBA last night, all the home teams won except the Warriors, who are now 0-8 under general manager Gary St. Jean, since he also took over the coaching job. Go back upstairs.
Yeah.
Or fire yourself.
Yeah, you're not getting it done.
No, 0-8.
Yeah, I mean, Charles could have done that.
Absolutely.
0-8.
Anybody could.
Unbelievable. Charles McCord, Connie McCord.
Right.
Exactly.
Ozzie McCord. Your dog.
Of course, he could be an 0-8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hasn't won a game.
Absolutely. You got him an ashtray coaching maybe 0-8.
Right, bring the fans down.
Unbelievable. Get some fat drunk out of the stands so you take over.
That's it.
Can you do any worse?
No. You can't lose anymore. You lost them all.
No. You can't be worse.
No. So,
yeah. The Nets made it 13 out of 18, beating the Clippers 110-105, 21 for Stephon Marbury.
We had a couple of mislapses. When it was my time, I did what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, well,
Stephon Marbury.
Well, at least you didn't stab anybody.
No, you didn't. Carjack somebody on the way.
Anyway, well, Warner, now let's get Warner's picks again. Warner is, where the hell are my stuff here?
Here we go.
Warner, Jaguars, Dolphins.
23 to that's 27-17.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
Buccaneers, Redskins, 24-16 you have.
No, I've got 23-16.
24-16 here.
No, I don't think they'll score 20. They won't score 24. 23.
They'll score 23.
23, yeah. They'll score 2 touchdowns. They have...
Get some therapy.
Wait a minute. That's the...
I wrote it down.
Redskins. Wait a minute.
What do you got?
Tampa Redskins, right?
No. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Redskins. You
23.
You said 24-16, unless I wrote it down wrong.
23-16, he said.
Yeah. 23-16. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Right.
It is. Okay, Rams, Vikings, you have 30-20.
30-20.
Okay.
Right.
Colts, Titans, you picked the Colts, 34-20.
Right.
That's right. Boot, who do you like?
I like the Colts.
You like the Colts?
Yeah.
Rams, Vikings?
Vikings.
Okay. Tampa Bay, D.C.
Washington.
Oh, stupid pick.
Just wait till Monday.
Okay. Jaguars, Dolphins.
Jaguars.
Idiotic pick.
Oh, well, let's see.
Okay.
Yeah. You want the Rams and the Colts for a Super Bowl. I would think that's what everybody...
You want Tennessee and Tampa Bay. That's what you want.
No.
I wouldn't mind seeing... I wouldn't mind seeing Dan Marino in the Super Bowl.
Oh, he's great for us.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Dolphins against the Colts. But that couldn't be possible. They're in the same league or something?
2 AFC teams.
2 AFC.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
They played twice this year. They great games.
So
they could play...
it would come down to the Dolphins playing the Colts to go to the Super Bowl.
Could be.
Get Tagliabue on the phone.
Could be.
I don't understand this.
Imus in the morning.
Listen, hear that...
We do have a concern that he's sitting down there in the courtside Puff Daddy seats where he shouldn't be there. But
no. Which would used to outrage the I-Man and stuff like that.
Yeah. I-Man softening up.
Yeah?
Well, no, but I mean...
You suck up the right way, you get cut a lot of slack, apparently.
No, there's been incident after incident.
Pattern of behavior here.
I don't think we need to indict Brokaw as some kind of common criminal because he's sitting, in seats that he shouldn't, frankly, be in.
Well,
but I mean, I think he may wreck it, or he may not care, or he may have a different position on this.
What position could he have? How can he defend that behavior? How can you defend that behavior?
I'm not defending it. My only position on the Brokaw situation this morning is, you can weigh in on as well, Warner, is that at least he appears to be a legitimate fan.
Okay.
Basketball fan.
All right.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Okay.
But, you know.
Yeah. P.J. Carlosimo,
Why are you sitting down there on this courtside?
I was sitting in a friend's seats last night. My seats are 6 rows back of Ed Bradley, as a matter of fact, in Section D.
Yeah,
Thank you, Bernie.
Every time we see you, though, you're on the court there, right next to Puff Daddy, squeezed in between Puff Daddy and Seinfeld.
I never have ever sat over next to Puff Daddy. Last night I've been happy to because he was seated next to Derek Jeter, and that would have been
great.
That would have been great to have been sitting there.
Well, I'm trying to defend you here.
I know, and I think you're doing a pretty inadequate job.
Tom Brokaw,
as usual.
Well, I tried anyway. Tom Brokaw.
Anyhow, 6 rows back, guys.
Okay.
Nice talking to you. Bye.
Well, okay, but we want to see that.
Yeah.
Well, you were there, Lou, weren't you?
Well, last night, as he said, he was in the front row.
There you go.
Yeah.
But generally, he's 6 rows back. Now they're on the road for 3 games now, right?
If he says so.
Yeah, 10 of the next 12.
Why wouldn't? If he says so, he's not lying.
Why wouldn't he have chosen to sit there then?
Well, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he just said.
Why when he gets the opportunity to move down, does he?
And what kind of friend is that? He makes him move 6 rows back. Takes his friend's seat.
You just said you always see him sitting in the front with Puff Daddy.
Right.
Well, I don't watch the Knicks game, so I was just that was hyperbole. I was just
trying to defend the indefensible, basically.
Well,
there you go.
Well, God, don't turn me into a criminal because I like Brokaw. And I mean, I think his behavior.
We
is
all like Brokaw.
Yeah.
We're concerned about him. That's all.
And about your behavior of defending these people if they suck up to you.
He didn't suck up. He answered some questions about the presidential race. How's that sucking up?
Well,
All right. What do you want, Breen?
What are you listening to Bernard for?
What?
What are you listening to Bernard for?
What do you mean?
The only reason you're doing this is he eggs Jan and ask him where he sits when he goes to the garden.
Where do you sit when you go, Bernie?
I don't go to the garden.
No, when you do go.
Oh, he's lying.
I have accepted nice seats to root against the Knicks. No,
Puff Daddy seats he's accepted.
I have accepted
What have you ever sat on the floor at the garden? In those seats?
I have sat next to Spike Lee. Yes,
you are fired.
Wait a second.
You can't. Are you kidding me?
Can I go down there? And
No, you can't. You can't go down there for any reason.
It's the only game in town.
No, what are you nuts?
He hates the Knicks, too.
I despise them. I loathe them.
You're sitting on.
This is unbelievable.
You're unbelievable. You're sitting in those seats. You're criticizing Brokaw.
I once tripped Charles Oakley while I was.
You're a Nazi.
Come on, that's why I was there.
What's wrong with you?
Two-faced.
Oh, that's thank you, Breen, very much.
Wait a second.
Big news from Trip.com. Triple miles. Book through Trip.com and you'll get triple the miles for...
A view of the terrain involved. Private, unshoulder your weapon and catch those lights. Now.
Sir. Yes, sir. Sir.
Nicely placed round, soldier. What were you before you joined my beautiful army?
A postal worker, sir.
Perfectly positioned. You'll do well on the civilian side. Now then, give me topographical slide 1, physical features. Let's look at the objective. Private, are you familiar with this contour analysis?
Sir, judging from the perimeter, the population density profiles, single-toothed hicks in the northern sector there, and tight-ass prima donnas to the south, I'd say that's the great state of New York, sir.
Well done. The great state of New York and the battleground, boys, that will determine whether we enter the next millennium still in the chokehold of the Clintonista occupation force. Or, conversely, to quote my old friend Martin, free of the sons of bitches at last. Unhappily, there is bad news for the legions who are trying to repel this new Clintonista drive. A defense led by this individual shown here. Private, identify.
Sir, the thin, mean lips, the evil, narrowed eyes, the knife blade nose, tombstone teeth, and wilted radicchio hair, that's Rudolph Giuliani, the Fuhrer of New York City, sir.
And our last best hope of defeating our arch enemy here. Private?
Sir, the collagen-injected lips, the calculating eyes, the cosmetically engineered nose, beaver overbite, and Yankee-capped hair, that's Hillary Clinton. Official Washington's answer to Slobodan Milosevic, sir.
And the bad news referred to moments ago is this. We have discovered traitors to the cause, boys.
Oh, say it isn't so, sir.
At ease, it is so. Two of our top command, Governor George Quisling Pataki and Senator Alphonse Judas D'Amato, have joined in a sinister conspiracy to undermine Fuhrer Giuliani and force Rick Lazio down our throats. Lazio's an okay fellow, if a little fey, in this old soldier's opinion, but by backing the young congressman rather than Giuliani, all George and Al will do is split the Republican Party, siphon votes from Rudy, and hand the New York Senate election to Hillary Rodham Attila Clinton. They're not traitors, they're idiots. Solution, boys?
Firing squad, sir.
A little extreme, but I like it.
Sir, are you sure, sir?
I'm certain. Fire.
Sir, you want to kill the governor of New York and former Senator D'Amato?
You heard me, soldier. Kill him.
Well, I mean, are you sure?
Can you hear me, soldier?
I heard you, sir.
I don't hear your gun.
Because I haven't...
Are you a pansy, young man?
Well, sir, no, sir.
My God, I hate a coward. Kill him.
I don't want to kill him, sir.
Fire that weapon.
There is a rose in Spanish Harlem. Imus in the morning.
Today's world is so... Here of Providence, Rhode Island, Buddy Fiance. Or at 3rd and 88th in Manhattan, trying to get a cab. How's it going, Bernie?
Well, it's going not too well.
I wish you would pass me by.
Okay, here come the taxis up the block. Now, looks like they're actually getting a taxi. Look, here we go. He passed them by.
Oh, I can't believe he passed me by.
Are you afraid of black males? You think they're going to rob you?
No. So why'd you pass us? You bum. Your mother smokes crack with George W. Bush.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
We are two black men. Get out in the street. Get out in the street.
Working
for the I-Man. Trying to catch a cab so we can get to work.
Subway. Montoya and Stefan standing almost in the middle of 3rd Avenue.
Here comes a cab. What would you prefer? I hail this taxi. To see us on TV or sneaking out of your house carrying your TV?
Imus in the morning on the fan. Sports Radio 66 WFAN.
An Infinity Broadcasting Station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon at 1 o'clock. This is Rich Ackerman, Bill Parcells.
Sitting on a phone with a microphone, tirade, diatribe in a baritone, foaming at the mouth like a maniac. Pit bull jaws lock in the attack, ranting and raving about his power and clout, on a prowl for a target he can take out. Lambs to the slaughter for the sacrifice. Don't look him in the eye or you pay the price, cause ain't no reputation he won't impugn. Luminaries, politicians, nobody's immune. Network head or just yuppie slime. If there's blood in the water, then it's fiending time. Ain't no secret that you can conceal. The more he make it squirm, and the better he feel. As President Clinton or Peter Moss, they'll tell you who's the boss.
Every small mistake, put your life at stake. You won't get a break. I'm dissing you. No matter what you say, he'll blow you away. Much to your dismay, you're his helpless prey. I'm dissing you. Looking for a life that he can disrupt, waiting for some big mouth, big wig to slip up. Show him a weakness, the fear he smell, then makes about his morning to live in hell. Got a lot of snaps in his bag of tricks. Do a number on you, cause his is 666. Ain't no witness for your prosecution, cause he's judge, jury, and executioner. If I was you, I would plead the fifth, or drive my car off the very next cliff. But don't come up with some lame excuse, cause you just asking for more abuse. If you say something that you shouldn't have said, you'll be consumed with feelings of dread. Roll the dice with him, you're gonna lose. Start singing the blues. You make every small mistake, put your life at stake. You won't get a break. I'm dissing you. No matter what you say, he'll blow you away. All you can do is pray that he'll pass away. I'm
that dog wandering around the store?
No, but the only reason he was in the store is because it was a Saturday.
Yeah. Well, what happens if you're in the store and somebody walks in? What would prompt the dog to attack them?
There's about a 2 to 3 feet space that you have to give the dog. And if you penetrate that, say, 3-foot area, it can set him off.
That's a bad situation, right?
Well, yeah.
Yes. Just yes. So, a little child could come in the store, see the doggy, want to run up and pet the dog, and the dog would be on the kid.
Well, no, I'm not telling you that. I'm just the dog is whenever the dog is in the if he that particular.
Why can't you? You sound like Bill Clinton. Why can't you answer the question?
Is that possible?
Is that the yes or no?
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
He doesn't bite any employees anymore, so we have
good.
Well,
that's great. Maybe if you listen to some of these conversations on the radio, it wouldn't be as protective.
Too bad the dog can't read your book. He'd stop protecting you.
Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Well, I put one of these Exide Select orbital batteries in my Jeep, and I didn't start it from about the middle of November until this past Saturday. Sitting out there, and it's in a garage, but it's 4 degrees.
Yeah.
Started right up.
There you go. No, it's not.
Not at all. So,